but I couldn't I have a hard time focusing on movies for a long time. And you can criticize me during the podcast.
That was
I don't read books.
Oh,
I don't girl.
That was the
right
time
here.
of the
I don't
first-
either.
No, I know. I saw him be mad at you about it.
I would not read a book.
Yeah,
Does that disgust you?
I mean, I think any sophisticated man would find people who don't read disgusting.
Yeah, there you go. You're disgusting, Nikki.
Welcome to Unplugged with Nicki Marie. Today, I have the superstar of the Netflix series Love on the Spectrum, Connor Tomlinson. Did I say Tomlinson? Tomlinson.
Yes, that is correct, Nikki.
Okay,
thank you.
Do you agree you're the star of the show?
Oh, not to toot my own horn. I mean, it's really a group effort, really. So basically, we're all the star.
Love that.
Yeah,
But
Tanner, James, Danny, Abby, and David. At all of us. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. You are the star of the show in my household because I posted a video. This is how this all happened. And Lise is here. Lise Smith, his mama.
I'm his mom.
You're both here. And I want to tell a little bit of the backstory is I was watching the show January of 2024.
Yep.
And I posted a TikTok and I said, boy, moms unite because you got to hear this parenting moment. And I don't know if you remember it, Connor, but your mom was coaching you about how to follow up and tell a woman that you were not interested, even if it was hard to communicate. So I immediately was like, you got to raise good men. Yeah. So today's episode is about raising good men, the term neurodiversity, and Connor, all things Connor.
Yeah, all things.
Yeah.
So welcome to Unplugged.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And this is sponsored by Duncan. And Duncan, I'm going to tell you, look at me. Look at me. You got to sponsor Connor. I want to see it happen. The Duncan auntie right here says, put your stamp of approval on Connor. It's going to happen in 2025.
We love Duncan, don't we?
You heard it here first.
I have for years since I was a kid.
See, and what are you drinking today?
Decaf mocha latte.
And your donut of choice?
Chocolate frosted, no sprinkles.
But tell them how you switched that up today.
I decided to have one with chocolate sprinkles on it.
And what's the verdict?
It's actually pretty good. It had a nice texture to it.
Little crunch?
Yeah.
Little crunch.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so let's talk about, I want to go back before Love on the Spectrum. What was Connor doing? What were you thinking? How did this all happen? Take us back.
Well, I figure we started watching the show and my mom thought that you could go up there, Connor. And I was like, me? No way. Hey, I was happy the way I was, but when I saw it a little more and thought about my brothers and sister and how they all found significant others, I got myself thinking, man, it sure looks like it would be nice. And the attention would have been, and the fame would have been a nice touch, but mainly I wanted to experience love, like give the dating world a go. So my brother Jack tweeted the director, Cian O'Cleary, and Cian was interested in having me on the show. Well, and as I'm sure you probably can guess, the rest was history.
It was a shoo-in.
Very much, yes.
All right. And what made you think this show might be something for him?
So to be honest, I was watching Netflix. I was scrolling through and I saw Love on the Spectrum, and it was when it was in Australia. And I honestly, Mama Bear woke up and I thought, oh, hell no. Netflix is getting a well-worded email, because I was thinking all these love shows that are a little bit racy, body shots, all this. And I thought it was going to be in a negative, disrespectful light. Yeah. So I was pissed when I saw that little thumbnail.
Yep.
So I was like, gonna watch this so I can email whoever. Like, I was ready.
Yeah, almost like they're
had my
exploiting.
little Karen hat on. I was
exploiting.
ready to roll. And I was thinking that was my gut.
Yep.
And I put it on, fell in love with Michael from Australia. And I started watching him, and I felt like he was very much like Connor. So I stopped and I brought him in, and that's when we started watching it together.
Yeah.
And then I said, but for me, I remember distinctly asking you, do you feel like these people? Do you have these emotions of lonely? And you said that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when because as a mom, we raise our kids, and I'm thinking school, check, productive member of society, contributing, chores that I didn't think about as love life.
Right.
I'm his
Right.
mom.
I watched a clip from Heather McMahon, who, by the way, I'm super fan of Heather McMahon.
Oh, we love Heather.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Love Heather.
Heather, we
so
had fun
she's
with Heather.
actually going to be on this season of mine. It's serendipitous. Remember we were talking about the planets prior to this?
We're all orbiting each other.
He can explain it intellectually. I can explain it. So I just feel what I'm drawn to. So with the Heather clip, she was talking about Tanner's mom was actually talking about what you see is a very because I feel like you're in society and you're having these conversations, but what we don't see is all the years of intervention, all the stuff you went through in school.
Yeah.
So take us through that. What was it like to be a kid?
Well, as a child, I was very free-spirited, and I often found comfort in isolation, and being with myself, my thoughts really allowed me to use my imagination. I don't get me wrong, I did have friends growing up, and in fourth grade I spent most of my semester in a corner reading. It was I did pay attention in class though, but I often felt some peace and quiet really helped me clear my mind. And throughout middle school, it was good for a bit, but after a while I was being bullied. So I had to pull out of public school and went into private school for 1 year before finally moving on to high school. And let me tell you, those were the best 4 years of my life. I got new friends, learned new and fascinating skills, those interesting subjects. And I also got to go to prom and, well, move towards my future. Because, as J.R.R. Tolkien would say, Namarie. And for those of you who read The Lord of the Rings, you would know that when the elves say that, it doesn't mean simply goodbye. It means go toward greatness.
I love that. I go toward greatness.
Mm-hmm.
I go toward greatness. If anybody asks me, how did you get to where you are? You just keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to see it and believe it. So back to you in the corner of the classroom. Did you always have a vision?
That vision was, well, I didn't realize it until much later, but most people see the world for the reality that it is. I mean, I won't get political or economical, well, if that is the right word. But basically, I try not to see the world how it is, but rather I prefer to see it for what it could be. It could be. Now, there's no such thing as utopia. There's no denying that. But I believe if we put our minds to something and cooperate with each other, we can achieve greatness. We can push past our limitations. In other words, make our dreams come true.
Dude.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, I love you so much.
No, you articulate things that I feel, but I don't know how to articulate. It's just so
amazing.
It's amazing. And
That's the beauty of
speaking of that
progress.
though, with mom,
Yes.
because you've been through some stuff.
Yes.
So what we see is this, because I felt like when I was watching the show, I was in your living room. I wanted to be with
In
your
the
family.
kitchen with us.
Yeah. I love, like before I had children, right? And before I was ever married, I always looked at a house that was full of like life and the dogs and all the stuff running around and sitting at the table with the croissants and the donuts. But before that, take us back to like how you got here, because we do have something in common.
Yeah. So, I don't know how far back you want me to go, like before.
Well,
like
how we
kids.
both related on single motherhood.
Yes. And well, here's the thing. And the clip that you referred to specifically is, I had 4 little kids. I went through a divorce. It was pretty hard, traumatic, and difficult for all of us. Again, Jack was my youngest son was, I think he was still in like diapers. It was a rough time. So I remember for a little over 5 years being a single mom with these 4 little kids, and I have 3 of my 4 children are boys. And I just, for me, the dating scene was always difficult and challenging. And I remember thinking, and I hope I can just be me on here and just say, I was like, I am not going to contribute 3 asshole men to the dating pool. Right. Sorry, guys. We love you. But I was like, I want to raise good men who know how to be in touch with their feelings, communicate, talk, and show respect to women. If you don't like her, tell her. It's okay. Yeah. Don't string people along. That was my biggest thing.
Is it working, boys?
Yeah.
Is it working? Yeah. Young one?
We got another son. We have to pull him in
behind the cameras. But no, and that was part of a big thing. So I think that was the clip that, it was funny because I found that clip because I was so nervous after the show aired because I got mixed reviews. I'm a lot. I know I'm a lot. And some parents thought I was like overpowering him and I don't give him his voice. And I was just sort of checking on TikTok and Reddit, which I was doing all the things to see what was being said. And your clip popped up of me. And then I think I messaged you.
You did. And you're not a lot.
Okay.
And honestly, anybody who's been a single mom, you have to sometimes be a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a lot almost every day. A lot. What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah.
But you're raising a family of, you want your boys to be empowered. You want your daughter to be empowered. So tell me about your mom, because I know she drives you crazy.
Yeah, but she actually does do a lot for me. She means well, and she always tries to find ways to help make my life better, to find new opportunities for me. So one day, hopefully in the future, and hopefully soon, and fingers crossed, I could have my own guest house right next to the house I lived in. I mean, sure, there are plenty of good houses in Georgia, but nowhere compares to mine.
Okay. You need to meet Chase, because my son is 8.
So much.
And he already knows, he never wants to leave he was crying one day when he was in kindergarten. And I said, what's going on? Why are you crying? He goes, I don't want to go to college. And I was like, you're 6. We're not
relax.
Talking about college yet.
And even if he could go now, I'd be all relax, Jace. That's right.
Chase.
Sorry. Chase. Chase. My bad. I would say to him, relax. I didn't go to college, and look at me now.
And that's that. The world is changing.
It's so changing.
The world is changing.
So
you can do whatever, but to your point, you really believe that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Isn't that not the whole point of freedom? You get to make your own choices. I mean, we live in the land of opportunity the last time I checked.
For as far as you can remember, did you always have this mentality? Did some of that come from your upbringing? Talk to me about that. I am selfishly interested in being a good mother. So
some of it came from my upbringing. The rest I picked up along the way.
This confidence and swag, by the way, this is like a year and a half old, maybe. This is Connor pre-Netflix. And I mean, we threw him in the deep end of the pool with that. Now, again, all of this was his choice. We kind of did it as a giggle at first, like the whole going through the motions, but when he got picked. But I really think this whole experience has helped him grow. And I don't know. I'm sitting here like in just bewildered awe. Seriously. I mean, every time we do something different, you're blowing me away. And this is amazing. And yes, he does want to have his own guest house. And
maybe one day, Mom, one day if you probably moved out of the house and I was still there, I'd probably, I don't know. What if I had enough money to have not just my guest house, but I'd be able to buy the whole piece of property. But that's in the future.
Yeah.
Duncan.
That's
pay up, dog.
But no, it's sweet. And so Chase doesn't want to leave
future.
You either.
Yes.
Amazing.
But I love that. I love visual. So I don't know if you saw upstairs, there's a poster board and there's stuff everywhere. I get PR and there's a big poster board. And my daughter last night, she's 10. She was like, Mom, can you write at the top of this poster board for me? I said, what are you doing? Making a summer bucket list.
Look at that. She's putting it out there.
I believe that when we push our kids to be the best version of themselves, they eventually pick it up and run with it. And you don't just start making vision boards when you're 10 unless like you've seen something that inspires you. And I'm not saying it's me. Also, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the freaking back. But to have that ability, I wish I could give every kid a poster board and say, make your summer bucket list. Yeah. So it's almost April.
Yeah.
April 2nd, National Autism Day.
Yep.
April 2nd, what else is happening?
That's also the day Love on the Spectrum US Season 3 comes to Netflix.
Okay. And it's like kickoff to spring, to all things blooming, blossoming. I personally think it's the real New Year. Yeah. I think April 1st is actual New Year's.
Yeah.
I think that the clock is all weird.
I mean, January 1st is the real start of New Year. But yes, I think spring is the time of renewal.
I love that. So what's your spring, summer? Let's group them together. Name a few things that would be on your bucket list.
Read some more, add some new swords to my collection, maybe. Go to the beach. Maybe learn surfing. And then I could surf while listening to the Beach Boys. And the song Surfing USA.
Yes, of course. I'm an old bird. I would,
But I do want to say something back to like the parenting piece and with Layla, your daughter, and the board, and Connor. I think you touched on it too. And something that I think I know I do with all my kids is I push them out of their comfort zone. Because there is a place in development that you have to grow, and pushing and yes, Connor is neurodivergent. He has autism. So is there a little more scaffolding pushing him out? Yeah. But he was treated just like the other three.
That's what I noticed.
Totally.
About you. Yeah.
I talk to him the same, yell at him the same. I do all the same things with Connor that I do with the other three, and when we just get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to a place of dysregulation and freaking out, but if left to his own devices on most days, Connor would love very happily to sit and just watch TV and not do anything.
Totally.
Yeah. But look at, and it comes from, no, we're going to get out. Yes. We're going to do things. And this is pre-Netflix too. It's like, we got to get uncomfortable. We're going to do things that you don't really like at the time. And then he turns out, he's like, that wasn't so bad.
Right.
Part of Connor's autism is just like rigidity and really, really afraid of a new experience. So it was a lot of like, come on, we're going to do this. I'm right here, but you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing.
And a lot of people don't notice those things, right? They just see the result or they see who you are, but all those little pieces, that's what I'd say to encourage parents watching is if your kid doesn't love baseball, but they're willing to try it one time, you never know what that's going to lead to. If they absolutely hate it, then maybe you try something else. So my son is very rigid. He would be home on the couch all day, every day. He would be gaming all day, every day. He would be introverted as long as he could be. But now he's doing sailing and loves it. And now he's doing basketball. He would only do basketball if I coached. So I was like, put me there.
Done.
Sign me up. I will do whatever it takes to get him to try new things.
And that's so cool because, like you said, and I think it kind of winds me up now. And Connor's 26. I'm in my early 50s, so 53. And it winds me up now when I look, and maybe it's generational, but some of the, and I'm probably going to but the gentle parenting and the kid-led, no, you're a parent and we are their guides. We are put in their lives to help guide them.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's okay to you joined my world, dude. And it's okay. And you joined my world with special needs. That's okay. We're going to do this together. But I'm going to shepherd you through this, raising you and show you. And because what does Connor know as a child, right? We need to learn things.
Yeah.
So a lot of younger parents with kids on the spectrum want to know, what did you do? What did you do? I led him. Yeah. I was a parent.
What does autism mean to you?
For me, autism is the next step in human evolution. Our brains are developed differently. The wiring is differently circuited, like in a computer, allowing us to think twice as fast.
So, because I loved when you, in the season where I was watching where you were, I loved the fact that you were just so transparently checking off the nose.
The speed dating.
The speed dating. That was one of my favorite scenes. You were like, oh, was I not supposed to do that? But then you went out on the porch and you were, so tell me about the overthinking side of things. Does it feel like if I make this decision, is it so hard to think about the outcome?
I don't know how long dating takes, you know?
So that was part of your rigid thought was like, oh, I'm here to find a wife.
Yes.
When I was like, wait, we're just here to meet some new people.
Right. And it's so funny because I'm fast and I'm reading like I need to rapid fire with him right now.
Yeah.
I need to get you psyched right now. I went to my first Renaissance fair.
Ooh. Really?
See, he perked up. I went to my first Renaissance fair and I had never been. And I want you to go, the King Richard Fair in Carver, Massachusetts.
Is it
this fall?
Oh.
We need to go. But I went and I got the corset and the costume and threw the things.
Axe.
So that's a whole other world. Like, tell me about your passion for all things Renaissance, swords. What is it?
Well, both the Middle Ages and the Renaissance were a great time of art, and I figured sword making was also, in its own way, a form of art. Like the designs of the blades and the hilts, and more important, the functionality of the blade due to the high quality of the metal.
So it's like a, is it because it's so?
He likes the craftsmanship.
Yeah, because I could see when
he sees the beauty in it.
And what about you, Mom? Where do you feel like Connor is most lit up? What's he doing?
Connor's talking about dragons, movies. Oh gosh, we're on this new series, Wolf King. You're loving that on Netflix. But I think when you talk about movies, 80s movies,
yes,
you want Connor on your trivia team. At Harry Potter trivia, you want Connor when it's like movies, that kind of stuff. We're like, dude, when is this? You know songs from movies and everything.
I just think that's incredible. All right, so don't you forget about me.
Oh yeah.
What movie?
The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I could do this all day.
Yeah, hit him with another one.
All right, so what's your favorite 80s movie? Favorite. Top tier.
Back to the Future.
I knew it.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Harry Potter I've never seen.
Well, as a child, The Chamber of Secrets was always my favorite. But I think the best one of them is The Goblet of Fire.
Okay, have you been on the Harry Potter ride yet at Universal?
I wish. Last time I was at the Wizarding World, I never got much of a chance. It was a big soccer game that day.
What do you mean a soccer game?
It was the World Cup.
Oh, and your dad made you go home?
For the World Cup, yeah.
That's so
Universal though. Get him there.
We may be heading there. We may be heading there next in a couple weeks. We may be heading there.
Get him there.
We may be visiting the Epic Universe.
Yes.
Before.
Do you like Disney?
Oh yeah, I do.
All right. Yeah. Do you have a favorite ride?
Oh, Galaxy's Edge Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run over the Rise of the Resistance?
I actually flew the Millennium Falcon. Had to smuggle a shipload of coaxia for an old pal of mine, Hondo Onaka, a space pirate.
Yeah, and we got yelled at the whole time, and he was the captain.
What did you expect?
Okay, so take us through the experience of Smuggler's Run real quick.
Me and Jack were up front, and he was the Chewie to my Han. Anna and Christine were in the gun seats. You were an engineer. You had to man the tow cables.
Yeah, I was in the storage, basically. That's where he put me.
Engineer. I hardly call engineering in cargo.
Well, you treated me like I was cargo, and you yelled at me the whole time.
That's what captains do. They give orders.
Yeah, I'm into this.
That's leadership.
It is. It is. So what drives you most nuts about your mom?
I don't know. Maybe it's her immaturity sometimes.
Explain.
Well, sometimes she acts like she acts like a college sophomore.
You should just have the keys in the checkbook then. Take them.
So, all right. So
Take
what?
them,
like,
tough stuff.
Give me an example. What's a moment that you're just like, ugh,
It's like,
Mom.
Like what those horrible rally calls she makes. She's done them since I was a kid. I never liked them.
What's a rally call?
Go Connor. Go, Connor. Go, 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 Connor. Go, Connor.
I find
it's your
them
birthday.
annoying.
Go, go, go.
That's just
Connor.
an example. Yeah.
Amazing.
Connor Tomlinson.
Stop.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
That.
You know your name
And
is
then
Connor.
I know
but-
you that you're I know that you're upset that she doesn't read. That's just like
Yeah, I mean, that's pitiful.
I agree.
I don't like to read.
Yeah.
Does that disgust you?
I mean, I think any sophisticated man would find people who don't read disgusting.
Yeah, there you go. You're disgusting, Nikki.
My dad has a saying.
You can forget a
In fact,
sophisticated.
my dad actually has a saying. The most important thing you can do in your life is read. Yeah.
Yeah, your
What
dad's
if
a
my
snooze
attention
fest.
span? Like, what would you say to someone like me about my attention span, though? Do you think that's an excuse?
Well, if you were anything like Hiccup, I'm sure you'd be, as Jared Butler would say, you'd have the attention span of a sparrow.
Please tell me you're getting this.
And also, please don't expect a
No, but like,
sophisticated
okay,
man.
so if I were going to read my first book in years, I read Of Mice and Men, hit me hard. Like, I'm a very visual person, so I vividly remember being distraught about Lenny crushing the mouse and that. I still think about
I
it.
was supposed to read it.
I
in high
never read
school
that
and
one.
I
Ooh.
didn't read it.
Oh, I read. I did read The Great Gatsby.
Okay.
Yeah, The Eyes of the T.J. Eckelberg Glasses. This shop, I think, or was it a clinic? I could never remember. It's basically supposed to depict the eyes of God staring out.
Could you, I think, and if anybody could make me read a book, it would be Connor.
Yeah, but
So-
one book I absolutely had to have in my library. Not that I have one yet. But it's a few bookshelves, but it was Frank Herbert's magnum opus, Dune.
Could I read that?
Yes, it would blow your mind.
Okay.
It's a carefully, intricately woven web of philosophy, religion, politics, and warfare.
Is that the first book you want me to read? That's
Yeah.
the one.
We've been together
It's the
26
story
years,
of-
and I can't. I
They
haven't
have
read it.
the son of a duke who's thrust into the most dangerous planet in the universe to harvest spice, the most valuable resource in the universe.
Are we reading that? Should we both kind of
All
do
right,
a
are you
book
gonna be
club?
my
A dumb
accountability
girls,
partner
a
for
dumb
this?
girls
You know what?
guide to
Okay.
books.
You know
Because
what I
that's
was
the name of my book club.
I figured listening to an audiobook while you read helps move things along.
Oh, okay. I could do that
Wow,
hack.
hot tip of the day.
I could do that hack.
Hot tip of the day.
Yeah,
I could do
it
that.
helped me. In fact, it's what helped me It's what helped me get through Fourth Wing.
What else is pitiful? Like, what are things that you're just like intolerant of?
Well, let's say, people who leap without looking, people who are reckless, impulsive, and make dumb decisions.
What would be like a dumb, what would be like a dumb decision? Just like,
Oh, I don't know. Oh, if like say a terrorist were riding away, and you go running after him.
Oh, well,
that's
weird.
a deeper one. I meant like, are you ever in the store or you ever see people just and you're just like, oh, I can't tolerate
Is it like
this.
when I
Yeah.
took
But you
brought a
have
puppy
to-
home when I just like get a dog?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I was happy when she brought my little Coco home.
That was impulsive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
dog.
rocked up and got a dog.
Mom was going
15-year
through
commitment.
what I like to call a
Yeah.
midlife. What she, in her words, a midlife
Yeah.
crisis.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, I
think I'm in one.
I
think
make
I'm
big
in one.
doozies.
Sibling rivalry. Does it exist?
Yes.
What is it? Talk to me.
Basically, it's arguments or squabbles between siblings.
Did we have any today?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I was buying candy for Mom and Jack. Like the Jack just nudged right in. He rammed his shoulder right into me,
And we had a meltdown right there
everyone-
at the airport, didn't we?
and you just blamed it on me. I didn't start.
Well, I was scared somebody was going to get arrested for
was
all the
typical.
cussing and the yelling.
Jack starts trouble. I'm the one who pays the price.
What was the candy?
Just get.
No, Connor, you were salty because we asked you to pay for the candy just to keep it simple and keep the line moving.
Yeah.
What was the candy?
It was just water. And
He just
stuff
wanted
like
a
that.
water.
It was a water. It wasn't even candy.
Oh, I was just getting some candy for myself, and they just wanted me to pay for theirs.
We just put everything down. We're like, let's just keep the line moving. Can you just pay? And he got so mad. And then Jack body checked him.
What can I
All
say?
right. So Jack,
Hey,
I mean, your brother's
I don't like spending
autistic.
too
Is that?
much.
Do you have to treat him differently, or what's different for you
Mainly
as a
because
sibling?
I'm gullible.
No, I think there is, to an extent, there is a difference.
Yeah.
But, my brother and I, Ben, both agree that we, in a lot of cases, weren't going to treat Connor different just because he was autistic. Now, it's one of those things where we can mess with him a little bit, thicken his skin up. We're not being cruel. But today was just a simple.
Yeah.
Today was just a simple brotherly whatever.
But that is my point. Is
I think it's
siblings are
cruel to-
siblings, and this is
it
a
seemed pretty
family.
cruel to me.
Yeah.
You were fine.
Layla, you can come down.
Everybody was
My kids
fine.
don't.
I was just saying we were in an airport and they don't like the violence and you guys are grown men. You needed to grow up and stop fight. I was like scolding them.
This is Layla. We have to go real on this podcast.
Hi,
She's
Layla.
home
We
from
love
school.
real.
This
Hi,
is Layla.
Layla. Nice
How
to
many?
meet you.
Are you excited to
Yeah.
see him in person?
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you. I love your house.
All right. So the sibling rivalry. You're the oldest.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I feel like I should be the one in charge since I am the oldest, but that nobody ever listens to me.
What really winds you up at home? What do they do?
Oh, where do I start? Leave messes for me to clean up, insult me and walk away when I ask for help. Oh, because I'm a big guy. I can handle it myself. Look at these little birdie arms. They couldn't even lift. They couldn't lift a cask of ale.
All right. So you want
A
more
cask
help?
of ale. Okay, what about when they leave lights on and the dishes and the
Yeah, that just leaves.
Oh, pet
Yeah.
peeves.
This goes both ways, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that just leaves the power bill going up.
So what are your pet peeves?
People leaving doors open, people leaving lights on, people forgetting to do their chores.
It's you and me. We carry the load of that house, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah, without us, the whole thing would probably collapse.
I agree.
I think there's 3 people that would disagree with that.
We're the 3 people that don't do anything.
I love it. So Layla has enjoyed watching your
Yeah,
sister.
we're actually having a
your
family
sister's
domestic
video
right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
I love it. So we've seen you cook with you. So what about having a sister?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my sister Anna, she's really doing well for herself. She's working at Inspire and is signed with many restaurants, including Jimmy John's.
She works for Jimmy John.
So is she part of the magic behind your social, like helping you with
Yeah.
ideas? Your
Yeah,
social's doing great.
Yeah.
What does Anna come home and she says, Connor? She gets you. She makes you do stuff, doesn't she?
Trends.
Yeah.
What do you say? She makes you try to do a Lady Gaga song,
Yeah.
and then you have to learn the dances with her.
Yeah. I don't really dance like that. It's not my type of music.
But she gets you out there, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Do you get annoyed with her?
Sometimes, yeah.
I mean, listen, you're talking the siblings. We were in an all-out brawl at 9:15 p.m. on a school night about the little hoop basketball that's hanging from one of the doors. I'm like, can we play horse and not fight? Do we have to fight during a game of
unfortunately.
horse? No,
Yeah, we can't.
no. All right. What is your
keep your
perfect first date?
Well, maybe eating out or going to a movie, maybe taking a walk in the park.
What are you eating? Close your eyes and really, what is like oh my God, I just had the best meal ever. What is on your plate?
Spaghetti and meatballs with garlic bread and salad.
Love that.
You do have to tell Nicki, please close your eyes and tell her what you felt and saw and experienced when you drank. And this is for real. I'm not just saying this. Dunkin' Midnight for the first time.
I can when I drink it, I imagine myself on one of those in New York City, on one of those high-rise restaurants, the ones on big skyscrapers. The whole the city's all lit up. There are spotlights in the sky, and I'm listening to the musical stylings of Kenny G.
That was Dunkin' Midnight. That's what it did to him.
That's the commercial.
That's what he said.
Duncan, I'm going to be totally pissed off if you don't do this.
Yeah.
He
That's
really
a
took
commercial.
a
You
sip
just
and
wrote.
he's like,
You
I
wrote
can
the
hear-
commercial.
I was like, Kenny G in a cup.
Okay, what qualities do you look for in friendship?
Well, support and selflessness and trust, very important. And of course, loyalty.
Are those similar in love interests, or are those
Yeah.
qualities different?
I think it goes both ways.
And when you think of love on the spectrum and finding love and why you went on the show and thinking about your siblings and what they have, what is it mostly that you envision for yourself? What's the goal?
Well, ultimately happiness.
And so that's the picture you have of yourself is
Yeah.
being with a companion.
Yeah, just being happy, doing whatever.
I love doing whatever.
I love doing whatever. What, do you have with the dating though? Something has come to your attention that was like you didn't really. You said it was a little complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. Romance, yeah.
It is. How about you think romance is complicated? Fourth grade boyfriends?
I don't know.
Yes, it's complicated.
It is very complicated. Trust me. I am with you. Now, what, Mom?
Yeah.
What do you want other moms
Mm-hmm.
who have a child with a label, neurodiversity, autism? What do you want them to hear?
I want them to hear that, regardless of that, we want all of our children to become productive, happy, complete, full to their potential self. And whatever you need to do to scaffold that and help and support, definitely do. And I hold and have always held Connor to the same bar as his siblings. And with all of them, I'm like, to your potential. Reach and do what you can do. And I'm gonna be fighting your corner, clearing the bushes, doing whatever I need to do to help you. But my expectation of him was no less than his siblings. And if you're have an only child, just whatever the expectation was for your child, you all can get there. And you may need to take the windy country road. You may not be on the highway. You're not going to be on 95 or all the big roads fast. You may take windy country roads and side turns and pit stops. Take them all and just help your kids get there. But there is no reason why everybody can't reach their potential. And fight for your kid. We always have to. And keep your mama bear. And the other thing I would say to all of these moms, I've been doing this 26 years now. We've been together 26 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26.
I don't have a trophy or a badge. It's not anywhere at my house. I don't have one. It's nowhere. You're not getting one. You're not getting one. So take your me time.
Yeah.
And don't feel guilty about it because you got to charge up. You got to charge your batteries for your kids. And that was one thing I never felt bad about is recharging Lisa's batteries. I did when I was a little younger, but as I've aged, I realized I am better for them when I take that break.
Absolutely.
So find a way to build it in, whatever
That's why
it
I
is.
do this. Honestly, the
Find a way to
podcast
build
is
it.
kind of my creative outlet.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. Have something that you feel like is yours.
Yep.
And then you show up better.
And
for
then
your
you show
kids.
up better and then you just do it. But yeah,
Yeah. Connor, what would you say to moms who are worried that their little one is not going to be the same as other people?
Well, we can't always control the people our children become. All we can do is be supportive and encouraging.
what would you say to the moms and dads who are just finding out they have a child with autism?
Yeah.
Don't panic. For this is a good sign. It means they'll go far, regardless of what might happen.
Well, I feel like on social media, which is where we live right now, I feel like there's so many people using labels. And I sometimes think, I get nervous about it, right? Like there's people who are like, I just took a test to see if I'm autistic, or, I must have ADHD. What do you think about that? Because I have mixed feelings. Part of me is like, we're making a label less stigma. We're talking about it more. So there's a positive of like,
Yeah.
it's more commonality. And then there's the other side of like, why do we have to feel like we have to label everything even if we're not? So what are your feelings? Because I'm not.
I mean, labeling someone. Picture this. Picture everyone who was labeled because they were different. they may have a different skin color, they may have a different religion, and they may think differently. But people can't help the way they are, and that surely doesn't deserve them a label as degrading as moronic or, dare I say it, stupid.
So you see a label as like a negative thing or whatever, just everyone's different? Is that what you're saying? And just accept it?
In truth, I think people who are neurotypical are often seeing people who are neurodiverse the wrong way. Perhaps maybe we have cross neurons that our brains are wired differently. Maybe we actually have higher IQs than they do, but have our own way of expressing it. Maybe that is what people need to see in those who are on the spectrum.
Just embrace the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I agree with you, Nicki. I think that a lot of people are self-diagnosing from Google and that there's a lot of like the spectrum has gotten really big. It's a really big umbrella.
Yeah, but,
And that's okay.
yeah, but I wouldn't rely on Google or the internet to decide whether or not you are autistic. Because as everyone knows, computers are dumb. They do only what they're programmed to do.
And when we got Connor diagnosed, we had to have 2 different professionals in isolation evaluating him and assessing him. And it was inventories of parents and teachers and everybody who was a caregiver. And then Connor going through assessments. That's what we went through. Yeah. So I agree. I think it's a little bit looser. I think that everybody, if they feel they have a place, they feel they can relate or identify with some of the behaviors on the spectrum. My only thing is that's fine. Everyone should have a place in a group and a place to feel like they're heard and seen for whatever they are and whoever they are. But just, again, whatever it is and whatever you need to do in that space, just reach your potential in it. Yeah. I personally, I was always like, I don't care if you're calling purple polka dot. I just want him to be whoever he's going to be in this world and let's get there. I didn't get hung up on it. And really, when he did get diagnosed, the only thing I saw, that Connor didn't change. Connor never changed from the minute he was placed in my arms. I just learned this new information. I was like, well, whatever this information is now, let's just go and make it help him or develop him.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I didn't
now
get hung up on the label.
Right. And now what do you hope for with the show? What is the hope that the show will bring?
Well, hopefully it'll teach everyone and that while love is finding difficult for everyone, and anyone can try to find it, even those who are on the spectrum and neurodiverse.
I love it.
I love that too.
And I think whenever we're watching, we all have these connections to what you are saying without filter. And so many of us filter so many of our thoughts and we do what society wants us to do. And there's something that I think a lot of us are drawn to about the show that just...
There's a beautiful honesty.
Yeah, yes.
And I think Connor's nickname in the house is Truth Serum. I mean, living with someone on the spectrum who just isn't going to candy coat it for you is so refreshing and nice. Yeah. And it's great because when you're getting dressed, like, do I like fatness? He's like,
I
have like, Truth go change. Right, but living with that, and I think it also, I think a lot of times people on the spectrum are sort of thought of as not having empathy or not wanting the same things because Connor does enjoy his isolation and his quiet time. But just because that he likes a little more of that than maybe I would, he does have needs and wants and these feelings. Right. And I think the show's showing that, hey, people on the spectrum don't just want to get up and go to work. They want a full, complete life just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, so what's next for you? Where can we find you? Tell us whatever you want to tell us.
Well, you can find me on Netflix's Love on the Spectrum US Season 3 coming April 2nd.
And what else? How about your TikTok and your Instagram?
Oh, yeah. Promote yourself.
Oh, yeah. Remember my TikTok and my Instagram? My TikTok. I forgot the account.
We'll put it. Jay will look it up.
Connor Tomlinson 5.
Connor Tomlinson 5.
And same for Instagram.
Same for Instagram.
And then you have your merch. You have your hoodie.
Yep.
And we actually have a present for you up in our suitcase.
Yes.
We got a hoodie for you.
Yes.
You're getting the Not Into Nature speed dating one.
Oh.
And so we forgot that in the car because we wanted to race in. But your website, do you remember your website?
Connor.meteor.land. Connor.meteor.land.
And
All right,
that's
we'll
your-
make sure we get it all in writing, and then Jay can plop it over.
Yeah.
Um,
And then just last thing, I know it's exciting for me and Tanner's mom. We started a Talk to Me Sis podcast.
Yes.
And I love that we can talk a little bit more to it's not just all things autism. It's a lot of autism-centric topics and conversation because that's obviously the world we're thrust into. But we are going to talk about other things. So we'd love for anyone to check us out there
yes,
too.
I love that.
And I love that you're a confetti canyon for other women. So thank you.
Same. I mean, it's like we're all doing this. We're feeling seen and heard, and isn't that what we all want in life?
I love it. Yes, it is.
All right, Connor, having met me
Yes.
for this amount of time, what type of man do you think I should look for when I'm ready to find love?
Oh, maybe one who's not stuck up or stubborn or snobbish or lazy. Maybe someone who's selfless or strong, capable, smart, polite. Someone who remembers his manners, and someone who will leap at the first call you give him.
I like that.
Okay.
Yep.
I love that. How do you feel being here? How did this feel for you?
Feels good to tell people this stuff.
Yeah. What could be better about this interview?
Well, probably wrapping it up with a bow.
I thought you were going to say if Duncan sponsored me.
Oh yeah, it's
Picked
Duncan.
up the Duncan, and I thought we were
why
going
don't
to
you say
end on
that?
a
Say that.
total
If
plug.
Duncan sponsored
All right, now
me.
look at that camera
Yeah,
and plug yourself to Duncan and why
Say,
they should sponsor you.
Tell Duncan, yeah.
Let the Duncan be visible.
People at Duncan, and I've loved your donuts and your donuts since I was just a kid, and I would love to have a sponsorship deal with you.
Well, thank you both for being here and making the trip up
Yes.
from Atlanta.
Yes,
flight and
thank
all,
you.
to be here. And
Delayed flight.
Duncan,
Yep. Thank you.
call him. Can we dap?
Oh, yeah, let's dab.
A dap.